Welcome back to America Talks Live. I'm Bill Tucker, and joining me now, right here in the studio, is Morton Klein. He's president of the Zionist Organization of America. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Great to be here. I've always loved being on Newsmax, which is becoming a more and more important outlet for the news.
Well, no, I thank you so much for saying that. Let's start with a little bit of good news. With a vote of 90-0, the Senate passed a resolution earlier this week, that commemorates the 50th anniversary of the reunification of Jerusalem. So they say Jerusalem should remain the undivided capital of Israel. I bet that makes you happy.
Well, I am happy about that. I'm not happy that the law that was passed in 1995 to move the embassy to Jerusalem and to establish Jerusalem, American recognition of it as the capital, has not yet been fulfilled.
Why has it not been fulfilled?
Largely because of Arab Islamist terrorist threats against America and the world if they do so. And we dare not allow terrorist threats to determine policy. And that's what's happening here.
What we do, yeah.
If you do, you're going to get more threats and more terrorism. That's why we should, in fact, move the embassy and make it clear we're not going to allow your threats of murdering people to change our policy and doing what's right.
Well, it's interesting because President Trump has made it clear he believes the embassy should be, in fact, in Jerusalem. Secretary of State Tillerson has basically kind of held it out, if you will. Yeah, we'll move it there if the Palestinians, I'm paraphrasing this, if the Palestinians behave a little better, or, it seems weird. We seem to want to use it as a negotiating tool of some kind as opposed to just simply declaring that's where it should be.
It'll help peace to move it, to make it clear to the Arabs Jerusalem's off the table. Because right now they still think they're going to get Jerusalem. Once they realize they won't get it, we can go on to other issues. And in fact, Jerusalem is not even holy to Muslims. This is one of the great lies of our era. The word Jerusalem never appears, not a single time, in the Holy Koran. It appears 700 times in the Jewish holy books and many, many times in the Christian holy books. When they controlled Jerusalem, the Arabs, from 48 to 67, when they controlled all of Eastern Jerusalem, which is the real Jerusalem, Western Jerusalem is the newer Jerusalem that was built up, not a single Arab leader except King Hussein ever visited Jerusalem. They allowed Jerusalem to become a slum. There was virtually no water, no plumbing, no electricity anywhere in Jerusalem. They built their residence, their capital, even their major churches, mosque, I should say, in Amman. It means nothing to them.
Well,
only when Israel recaptured it did they suddenly start screaming it's holy. Before them, they didn't say a word.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how did history become so obscured? How did we forget a lesson there?
Well, we really forgot all sorts of lessons. We forgot that Judea and Samaria, which the world calls occupied territories, has never been Arab land. There's never been an Arab country in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank. In fact, we Jews are called Jews because we're from Judea. We are Judeans. It's a contraction of the word Jew.
Right.
And you notice it's called Palestine. Palestine is a Roman name. If it's an Arab land, why isn't it named after have an Arab name? And it's called Palestine because the Romans, which captured it from the Jews in 2,000 years ago, they wanted to de-Judaize it, and they changed the name from Judea and Samaria to Philistinia, which was named after the enemy of the Jews, the Philistines. And in fact, the Jews pray to Jerusalem 20 times a day in their prayers. The Muslims never pray to Jerusalem. This is one of the great lies of our era, I must say.
That is fascinating because I have to tell you, this is the first conversation I've had along these lines, as a matter of fact, and I've had more than a couple. It just doesn't seem to be something people want to talk about much. It's what we're talking about this, the president, when he was there, seemed very earnest and sincere in his attempt to bring peace to the Middle East. And he put back out on the table again the two-state solution, which has been on the table.
Palestinian state solution. This is a great misnomer.
Okay.
Israel's already a state. So why are we calling it a two-state solution, acting as if each side's getting something? We should call it a Palestinian state solution, which of course is not a solution. But we should not even use that term, two-state solution.
Why? But in negotiating a deal, isn't part of negotiating a deal making feel like everybody got something out of this deal?
But the Israelis know they're getting nothing except a terrorist state. If there is a state established in these territories, a Palestinian state, Hamas and Iran will take it over almost immediately. Even Michael Oren, the former ambassador to the United States from Israel, this week said this state will last less than 1 week. It'll become a Hamas-Iran terrorist state immediately.
Well, then, given that context, I have to ask you about the news that we're getting today, which is that we are going to continue to provide money to the Palestinian government. This comes from Secretary Tillerson, I believe. I'm going to paraphrase him again, but Tillerson said, yeah, we know they're making payments to terrorist families, but they've also said they're going to be backing off of that.
Even if Abbas lied to Tillerson, he's going to do it. We should be demanding of Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority, to have the parliament to meet and have a formally rescind that law that pays money to Arabs to murder Jews.
Murders, yeah.
It's monstrous. It's monstrous. And we should demand he make a speech in Arabic saying this law has been rescinded. I'm not interested in his words to Tillerson. I'm interested in seeing the law rescinded and seeing the payments stop. They spend $300 million a year paying Arabs to murder Jews. They promote hatred and violence in every aspect of their culture. They've named dozens of schools, streets, and sports teams after Jew killers. It's as if we name our streets after Charlie Manson or such.
Yeah.
It's just outrageous. This is a terrorist regime. We should not be funding them unless and until they act like a civil society and not promoting hatred and violence in every aspect of their culture.
Well, it was interesting because when President Trump met with Abbas, I think he got a little mad that he learned he was lied to when the two men met.
Abbas said, we promote peace. We never promote violence or hatred. A total and complete falsehood. And when Trump was told by a number of people, including my own organization, the reality of it, he became furious. But that's what we come to expect after 23 years since the Oslo agreements, which was a disastrous mistake.
Morton, it's really great for you to have come in today. Appreciate it. Morton Klein, been our guest. Thank you so much. Coming up, Democrats are calling for more gun control after yesterday's shooting in Virginia. We're going to talk about that and a lot more with John Lott Jr. next. But first, let's take a listen to this.
This is not a diversionary tactic. This stuff is real here. This coup, this silent coup that is taking place is real.
Donald Trump was elected president, but now his opponents want him out of office. Election results and the will of the people don't matter to the deep state elite. That's why Rush and everyone here at Newsmax TV is talking about this deep state coup. Rush Limbaugh says the left's war against President Trump is nothing less than a coup attempt. And now Rush is urging conservatives who support President Trump to get David Horowitz's new best-selling book, Big Agenda. Big Agenda first revealed Trump's secret plan for the White House, but it also warned of the effort to stop Trump by the progressive left. Big Agenda is a #1 Amazon bestseller and a runaway New York Times bestseller for 11 weeks. Michael Reagan, Dinesh D'Souza, and Ann Coulter have also urged conservatives to get Big Agenda to show their support for President Trump. Big Agenda is available at bookstores everywhere, but you can get our free offer. That's right. Save almost $30 with our free offer for Big Agenda. Just go online or call the number on your screen. Make no mistake about it. This is a total war. Help President Trump today by getting Big Agenda.